Someone is forging your signature right now to finalize a betrayal that was years in the making. Stop it before midnight. Archangel Michael says, tonight, the air is thick with secrets that should have been buried long ago. A hand that once held yours in trust is now dragging ink across stolen pages, mimicking your signature to finalize what was planned in shadows. This is not merely a betrayal, it is the climax of envy disguised as loyalty, and it must be stopped before the hour turns to midnight. You are being observed right now, but not in admiration, in calculation. Someone, somewhere, is watching the clock and counting down the minutes before the forged documents are submitted, locking you into a situation you did not consent to. This is a warning that can't be ignored, because the betrayal has been layered for years with the precision of a slow-burning fire. The document they are finishing was supposed to protect your legacy, but they've changed the terms in secret. Instead of a promise in your favor, it now signs over something you once loved: your property, your name, your authority. The one doing this is not working alone, and the second person in the plot is closer to you than you ever imagined. Archangel Michael says, the whispers began years ago, but you were too busy surviving to hear them clearly. Now those whispers have turned into rushed meetings and signature sheets passed between palms in back offices and hotel lobbies. The betrayal was not spontaneous, it was crafted with intention and made to look like your own decision. Type Amen to get blessing 333. That is how dangerous this plan is. It was designed so you would never be able to prove your innocence. Your name will be on it, your initials will appear authentic. But your soul did not approve this, and your spirit knows it must be revoked before the midnight hour strikes. Someone you helped in the past, maybe even raised up from nothing, is the one leading this. They wear polished shoes and speak calmly in front of others, but in the presence of darkness, their true motives are dripping with greed. They are working with a legal authority who was bribed months ago to ignore the inconsistencies in the handwriting. This person did not arrive at this betrayal overnight. No, they studied you, watched you, waited for your moment of distraction or exhaustion to strike. And now, tonight, they believe the final lock will click into place. Do not be silent anymore. Your silence is the final ingredient they need to proceed. If you hesitate, this document will be filed as final, and it will be too late to undo the catastrophe it brings into your life. Type Amen to get blessing 444. One paragraph of that forged document declares you mentally unfit. Another paragraph claims you have relinquished your rights voluntarily. All of it, lies. But once it is submitted with a time stamp before midnight, it becomes the trap you cannot escape without divine intervention. This person has already signed in your name multiple times in places where you never stepped foot. They even practiced your handwriting, mimicked your pauses, learned your pressure. This is not just fraud, it is a spiritual theft. Archangel Michael says, you are being summoned by divine power to rise before the last clock ticks. There is still time, but not much. You are being protected, but you must act fast and decisively. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Your protection is not passive, it is activated when you stand up for truth. You have allies watching in silence who will step forward only once you do. They have been holding back until now. But the final hour draws near and your declaration must come. Do not underestimate the lengths to which this enemy has gone. They've rehearsed phone calls pretending to be you. They've authorized fake transactions under your name. They have a duplicate ID with your details and are about to use it one last time to finalize everything. The betrayal is personal. It was fueled by jealousy disguised as admiration. The moment they saw you succeed where they failed, the seed of this plan was planted in their heart. They celebrated with you while plotting against you. They hugged you with one hand and held a pen behind their back with the other. Their smile was camouflage for a deeper resentment that's now bursting out in legal form. Type Amen to get blessing 717. There is a bank involved, a property clause, an inheritance twist, something that belongs to your bloodline is at stake, and unless you move now, it will be lost to someone who has no right to it but every intention of taking it. Your name, your identity, your will, it is all being manipulated in a setting where you are not present. They timed this moment specifically when they thought you would be unaware. But this divine alert has shattered their illusion of secrecy. A camera caught them, a receipt was printed. A timestamp exists that can unravel the entire plan, but only if you act before midnight. Archangel Michael says, the divine realm has dispatched watchers to surround you. Listen to your intuition. That uneasy feeling today was not paranoia, it was prophecy. Type Amen to get blessing August 1988. Someone is pretending to act on your behalf. They've convinced others that you gave permission. But heaven knows you didn't. And now, those fraudulent papers carry not just a lie, they carry the weight of your stolen destiny. The time they picked was deliberate. Midnight seals documents in legal systems and spiritual dimensions alike. If you delay, this battle becomes harder to reverse after it is locked. There is still a way out, but it requires you to expose them. Don't think small, call the office. Alert the bank. Send the message. Interrupt their process. When they see you rise, their courage will collapse. There is a woman involved who said she loved you. She knows this is happening. And she didn't stop it. She benefits if it goes through. Her silence is complicity. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The document they are submitting claims you agree to remove your name from a joint title. But you never signed anything with your full heart. What they have is a photocopy, a cropped version, and a manipulated script. If you search through your old messages, you'll see the clues. One message was deleted quickly, another one felt odd. A third had a name that didn't match the contact. They were testing you even then. Someone from your past tried to warn you. But their voice was blocked by distractions placed around you on purpose. Now their warning echoes through this divine message tonight. Archangel Michael says, your angels are standing by with the seal of truth. Once you declare the truth boldly, that forged paper will catch fire in the spirit and the plan will begin to crumble. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. They believe they could imitate your hand, but they could never imitate your soul. That's what will be your weapon now. No matter how perfect the forgery looks, the truth has an energy that cannot be replicated. There is a location mentioned in the paper that you've never even visited. That's the flaw. That is the hole in their plan. If you find it and highlight it, the betrayal collapses instantly. The moment you say no to this spiritually and verbally, a delay will be triggered. They will sense that their hold is slipping and that divine authority has entered the room they thought was private. The pen was stolen, the paper was stolen, but the justice will be divine. A notary who was paid under the table is about to come forward and confess. A hidden CCTV is about to expose a forged timestamp. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. If you speak now, you will recover not just what was stolen, but gain more than what was taken. This betrayal is unlocking a larger victory. What they meant for your loss will become your rise. The countdown is active. The moon is moving into position, heaven is leaning closer. Time is thinning and your name is being reclaimed by forces of light. Your enemy is afraid, even though they pretend they're in control. They sense their steps are now being watched by a power beyond human. The closer midnight comes, the more nervous they will become. Archangel Michael says, "Do not be afraid of exposing the truth. You were never meant to stay silent forever. The war they started in secret will end in divine display." Type Amen to get blessing 1313, and when the clock strikes 12 and their signature fails to process due to intervention, they will know who stopped it. You, with divine help, with courage, with fire in your soul, this was not just a betrayal, it was a test. And you passed it by listening to this urgent call and not ignoring the signs. You are not alone. Never have been. Never will be. The forged signature will be burned. The property will be protected. The inheritance will be redirected to its rightful heir, you. And those who plotted will lose the very thing they chased. The sword of Archangel Michael has descended to divide truth from deception. The person behind this is about to face consequences they never expected. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. This is your confirmation. This is your alarm. This is your last moment before midnight strikes. Open your voice, open the truth. And open your protection. You are no longer the victim. You are the revelation. You are the name they cannot erase no matter how many times they forge it. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, as midnight draws nearer, the veil between the physical and spiritual realms grows thin. That is why you're feeling this strange pull in your chest, this sense that something important is happening even if you can't yet see it. It's because heaven is alerting your spirit in real time. The betrayal that began with a forged signature is unraveling as you become aware. A document signed in your name has been scheduled to move through final approval exactly before 11:59 p.m. tonight. They want it sealed with no room for questioning. They believe you won't act in time. But heaven is rearranging the steps now. Because you opened this message and allowed your soul to hear the warning, their perfect plan now has a fatal crack. It's a spiritual crack, but that is where all power flows from. Soon that crack will reach the physical world, and they will not be able to patch it up again. There is someone you once considered family who is deeply involved. They know you trust easily, and that's the advantage they've abused. They used your love to access your details. Now they're using those details to sign away your control. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. Even your birth date is on that paper, your full name. But not your energy, not your will. And that's why heaven will not allow it to prosper. Not if you take a stand right now and revoke it with your voice. Go through your old files and messages. There is a missing paper you once stored safely, but it's now in their possession. They took a photo of it while pretending to help you organize your things. They've used that scan to authorize things in your absence. But Archangel Michael says, a divine block is being placed on any document not signed by your soul. Your spiritual consent is louder than their physical forgery. And that's why they're starting to panic. Even if they're smiling on the outside, one of them will make a mistake before midnight. That's how they'll be exposed. But your awareness must increase now, because even the smallest detail you recall could break the case wide open. Type A meant to get blessing 1717. An old phone of yours has a voice note or email that they thought was deleted. It wasn't, it's in the cloud, waiting to be retrieved. That message is proof that you never gave consent. Retrieve it before midnight if possible. Even your digital signature was manipulated. They clicked approve using a proxy server that mimic your IP address, but heaven has access to all timelines. And every click that wasn't truly yours will now be revealed by divine reversal. A handwriting expert will soon be involved, and their testimony will confirm what heaven already knows. The strokes were hesitant, the ink was mismatched, the pressure was not consistent with your hand. It was a performance, not a signature of truth. This plot has layers. The person involved has legal backup, a female relative supporting them, and a third party who benefits financially, but all of them are about to be cornered by a truth they can't argue with. Type A men to get blessing 1818. A certain location is tied to this plot. A building, possibly a lawyer's office or a property registration center. That is where the paper trail leads. And tonight, something will go wrong in that location as divine timing disrupts their process. There is also a safe or drawer in your home that holds a key piece of evidence. They tried to find it, but they never knew it was tucked in a book or behind a photo. That paper will shine light on a truth they tried to bury. A neighbor saw something. A taxi driver overheard something. A receptionist noticed a duplicate. These strangers will be used by heaven to become unexpected witnesses in your favor. Every one of their small observations will turn into a mighty confirmation of your truth. This is not the end. It is a beginning, and your name, once cleared, will shine even brighter than before. The attempt to erase you will only elevate you higher. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. The next 24 hours are a window of victory for you. Anything done in darkness is now being transferred into light. The person pretending to protect you while plotting your fall is about to have their mask torn off. You were led to this message by divine direction, not chance. This is not a coincidence. It is an intercession from the heavens. And because you heard and opened your eyes, the outcome will now change. The false signature may appear official, but the one thing it lacks is divine authority, and now that authority is arriving through your awareness, your voice, and your refusal to accept the lie. Speak this aloud now. I cancel every forged signature in my name. I revoke what was not written with my truth. I stand protected. I am taking back my authority. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. The contract they've prepared will not hold in court, nor in spirit, nor in truth. Their timeline is collapsing. And soon, so will their influence. Watch how someone they depended on begins to turn against them. Even one of their allies will back away and leak information, because they won't want to be caught in the storm. That leak will lead to exposure. In the coming hours, unexpected communication will reach you. An email, a phone call, a paper in the mailbox. Don't dismiss it, it carries a divine breadcrumb toward your breakthrough. Archangel Michael says, keep your spirit awake tonight. Don't sleep too deep. Keep your awareness sharp. A whisper of divine clarity will reach you in a dream or a sudden thought. It's your next move. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. This betrayal wasn't just personal. It was ancestral. They've tried to rob your family line of blessings long overdue. But now the bloodline is awakening, your ancestors are rising in your favor. You are not fighting alone. A woman on the other side is lighting a candle for you. She knows what's happening and is silently praying for truth to win. She may not be near, but her spirit is defending yours. The forged betrayal is shaking now. Even the paper it's written on will feel heavy to the person trying to submit it. Their hand will tremble. They'll fumble. They will delay just enough to give you the edge to stop it, and after this, you will no longer tolerate fake alliances. The exposure tonight will clean your path. The ones plotting now will be removed permanently. What they try to take will be restored sevenfold. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. Let this night be your final night of manipulation. After tonight, the chains of false authority will break. No one will ever use your name against you again. What they signed without your heart, heaven now nullifies with divine decree. The angels are sealing your identity in light. You are marked, protected, and your destiny is realigned. If you felt confusion recently, it was not weakness, it was spiritual interference caused by their dark attempt. But now clarity is returning. Sharp, strong, final. You will remember who you are. And the person who copied your signature will forget what peace feels like until they make it right. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. They used your signature to bind you, but they failed to bind your future. And that's why they're about to lose everything they falsely gained. God never sleeps, and the angels never blink. What they thought would be secret until it was too late has now been interrupted by a heavenly alarm. From this point on, speak nothing but victory. Claim your name back. Claim your right. Claim your freedom from paper lies and pen tricks. Archangel Michael says, you are the rightful owner of what they tried to steal. And soon, that will be seen and declared by all. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks. With contributions of up to $20, your name is sacred. Your legacy is guarded. And tonight, your truth prevails. Archangel Michael says, the hourglass is almost empty, but your authority is rising like a shield of fire. Everything they built on deceit is beginning to collapse under the weight of divine light. The very table where they signed your name without your spirit is beginning to shake. They thought this plan would be quiet, unnoticed. But what they didn't account for was your awakening. They underestimated your power, your intuition, and the spiritual army behind you. Right now, the ink they used is being spiritually erased. What was written in lies is being undone in justice. A divine interception is happening, and by morning, nothing will remain of the plan they constructed in darkness. The document they wanted to submit will go missing. The digital file will be corrupted. The meeting they scheduled will be cancelled without explanation. the whole timeline they crafted will now slip from their hands. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. You are not just being defended. You are being exalted. Out of this betrayal, new power is forming in your life. Your voice is becoming undeniable. Your name is becoming unstoppable. The person behind this is about to have a private breakdown. They'll appear calm on the outside, but their soul will feel the weight of heaven's justice. Nightmares, visions, and inner collapse are coming for them because of what they've done. You'll hear whispers about them soon. They lost everything suddenly, someone will say. They were caught in something shady, another will report. That's not karma. That's divine response. Heaven waited for the perfect moment to deliver this awakening to you. And now, with your awareness activated, your freedom is being restored line by line, hour by hour. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. Every legal spirit tied to your name is being revoked, every wrongful agreement is being torn. And every signature not written by your hand will be rendered void by divine order. There is still one thing you must do. Speak clearly to your spirit, I reclaim all that is mine. No paper holds power over me unless I gave it freely. I am the true signatory of my destiny. By morning, you will feel lighter. Your energy will shift. The heaviness will lift. That's how you'll know this message wasn't imagination, it was intervention. Someone who never believed in your power will now witness your rise. They'll try to return and explain. But do not open the door. Let the betrayal end without reviving the energy that caused it. Type Amen to get blessing 2828. Your divine justice is not just a reaction, it's a restoration. You'll not only recover what they tried to steal, but you'll also receive new opportunities in its place. An offer will come soon. A door you didn't even know existed will open. This time, no one will be able to forge your place in it. This time, the power will be completely yours. There's a lawyer, a mediator, or an officer who was previously blinded by their lies. That person will now feel convicted to investigate again. Truth will nudge them. And you will be cleared. The lies they used to paint you weak will become the very proof of your strength. The signatures they forged will become proof of your integrity, and the stolen documents will become dust in your divine wind. Type Amen to get blessing 2929. This betrayal has reached its expiration date. Its power ends tonight. You're being pulled out of the snare they set, and into the light that cannot be forged. Speak your truth aloud once more. I do not belong to the plans of liars. I reclaim my name. I cancel every false agreement. My signature is sacred. My future is mine, and now that this declaration is in your soul, heaven will move mountains to ensure it manifests. What they forged behind your back will never outrun what heaven just marked on your behalf. There is no room for fear now, only faith, and fierce, unstoppable reclaiming of what is yours. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. Soon you will look back at this night and smile, not with sorrow, but with strength. You'll see how every moment of confusion was leading you here, to this message, to this victory, and as the midnight hour arrives, watch closely, your life is shifting into divine alignment. You will not be defined by falsehoods. You will rise from this with even greater favor. What they try to file will not be approved. The court of heaven has already struck it down. Earthly systems will now echo what was cancelled in spirit. And your enemies will learn that when heaven says, "No more," even their best deception cannot win. Type Amen to get blessing 3131. A celebration is coming for you soon, not just for surviving this betrayal, but for thriving beyond it. People who once doubted your strength will now come to ask for your wisdom. The very people who try to steal your voice will now be forced to hear your name praised. They'll realize the power of divine justice and the mistake they made crossing you. This night is not just a warning, it's a coronation. You've crossed through fire, and now you wear the flame as your crown. Your name shines brighter than any lie could ever dim. They wrote your name in ink. Heaven wrote your name in gold. And that gold cannot be copied, forged, or erased. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Your soul is signature enough. Let this be known, you are the only author of your destiny.